Which brings us to Chelsea. Now, we praise Real Madrid, but then we have Tuchel saying that, this was one of the worst halves of football that he's seen.
Which was?
I don't think it was much better afterwards. How much of this is on Tuchel and his choices? We talked about the Lukaku thing before. But I also think, I look at the performances of Pulisic. I look at the general approach, which seems to be, okay, we've gone back to a 3-5-2. Jorginho ping the ball wide and deliver crosses for Havertz. Havertz is really good, but I'm sorry, you're not going to confuse Alaba and Militao with your movement unless there's other stuff going on, unless there's runners, unless you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, completely. It's almost like if Pulisic started because of what happened last season against Real Madrid, where he was very good and scored a great goal at Valdebebas and all of that. He was not even the same manager. This is a team that plays very differently. And if, like they did in the first half, they play quite deep and wait for you and then hit you on the counter with Valverde, Vini and Karim, then why is Pulisic doing that? Because there's no space for him to run. He was completely transparent in that first half, to the point that at some point I even wonder if he was still on the pitch, because just the ball was not getting to him, and when it was, he could not do anything with it.
They were getting nothing down Pulisic's side. But that's also because Azpilicueta's behind him. Everything was going to the other side, to the outside.
Yeah. But the worst was, I guess, his press and counter press. Not just him, the whole team. I've rarely, if not never, under Tuchel, seen Chelsea pressing so badly. Every time there was one or two Real Madrid on their own, one or two Real Madrid players on their own, and not just on their own, Gab, with literally a 50-yard diameter around them to receive the ball easy, turn, no pressure. What was going on? It looked like they were down. They were playing with 10 men.
It was hugely disjointed. I think that's
Incredible.
A great point you make. I was going to bring it up to appear clever, but you did it first. I rarely have I seen a team that struggles so much off the ball. Especially when you're trying to press. I thought positionally, whatever, when they retreated, they were okay. But Pulisic, it was like he wasn't there off the ball. And it's not just him. I'm not just having a go at him.
Mount is the same,
Mount did more with the ball, perhaps. Off the ball, less of a factor.
Off the ball, yeah.
That puts a real strain on Havertz.
You know how many kilometers Havertz ran? Which for me is the biggest indication of how wrong that whole press was. 11.8 kilometers. 11.8 kilometers for Kai Havertz, who is not a runner, let's be honest here. He's not the one who sprints to get the ball in behind the whole time.
And who is a center forward playing at home.
Almost 12K.
Yeah.
Because he had to cover so much ground and trying to press on his own almost because it was not followed behind him. It's crazy.
I thought in the middle of the park as well, he went with Jorginho and Conte, inevitably because Jorginho will get the blame for many quarters. Equally, if Jorginho's in there and he's told, ping the ball wide, get it back, ping it wide again, do it over and over, rinse, repeat, recycle. This is what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Conte, I don't think, had a good game at all.
No.
And Azpilicueta, they're just the wrong players. You mentioned Kovacic before.
Why? Just give me a reason why you would put Kovacic on the bench for a game like this.
Again, I think it's an issue of if you play Kovacic and drop Jorginho, maybe he wasn't. The only reason I can think of is if I play Kovacic in this game, I drop Jorginho, and Real Madrid go and just sit and play the way Atleti did, or not quite that much, but let's just play on the counter. Then how am I ever going to penetrate? And with Jorginho, I know I can keep circulating the ball, hopefully move them out of position, and then the crosses come in and Havertz scores. That's the only thing I can think of, because Kovacic is just a completely different type of player. Later on, when he brought in Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Yeah. That's a whole other issue. At the back as well, Christensen had one of his worst games, I thought, in a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah.
Whether he's not fit or not right or whatever, I don't think Rudiger either covered himself in glory. It's just generally.
Are you worried though? Or are you not worried? Or you think it's just a little bit of a blip to lose two defeats in a row at Stamford Bridge as well, but in very different context if you want. But then you go to Southampton at the weekend, and then obviously there's that second leg where you can still do it, but you need to believe and you need to get things right, though.
I think from Chelsea's perspective, they reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I don't think they're favorites. And if you go out to Real Madrid, I don't think there's any tremendous shame. If you put in a good performance at the Bernabeu, I do think actually one of the key games this season for Chelsea is going to be April 20th at home against Arsenal. Because when that third place starts getting in doubt, that has a knock-on effect as well.
Yeah.
Also has a knock-on effect potentially on the sale, because for all these deadlines they put in, April 11th, and then Chelsea will inform the government, the preferred bidder on the 18th, and then the government. If fourth place becomes a doubt, all of a sudden, that can knock 100 million off the price easily, right? So I think that's when you start worrying. I think Tuchel got this one badly wrong. He's gotten a couple things badly wrong. I'm a Tuchelista going back to Mainz.
Too,
you know that. But
yeah.
I don't know if internally he's not getting the support he needs for him to make the right decisions. I just do know he's been making a bunch of wrong ones. And I do know, most of all, what he's wrong about is that this tie is over. Because no away goals, you have to win 2-0 at the Bernabeu, which is very difficult, but it's not impossible. It's really not impossible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.